All right, we're back. And it does look like Trevor won't be joining us because he has crazy midterms, and I feel so bad for him.
Yeah, it's just horrible.
But we'll go ahead and start into a scene. I don't think we won't stay too late with this because I think we're gonna get up early tomorrow to go vote early in the morning. So, and then I have a busy day ahead of me. So we'll go ahead and maybe do. I mean, we'll go till 10:30, and just kind of run a few scenes to get to know the characters a little bit, kind of understand what the situation is. It's fine if Trevor's character isn't prominent because we can just have scenes that are isolated and away from where he is. Since it's just you two at the moment, Connor's not back yet. Let's go ahead and let's just say that the ship is on the dock, right? So you guys are we kind of fade in to this kind of like jaunty like pirate sounding like Pirates of the Caribbean sounding like string music, right? So you have this little like fiddle playing as we kind of fade in, and you kind of see like the dock workers like moving these supplies on board, and we don't actually know what is on this ship yet, and I haven't asked Trevor about that yet, but it's important because I mean we know as an audience at this point, Connor's character wants to kill Trevor's character, or because these assassins apparently want to kill him. So apparently something Trevor is doing, most likely related to whatever he's shipping here, is important and is worth killing someone over. So that's kind of like the framework we have as we see these dock workers like pushing these barrels on board and stuff like that. And so we see we kind of zoom in on Avion. What do you want to describe Avion for us, Jared? What is Avion like?
He looks like the guy from Lost, right? Sawyer. He's real. He always looks down. He looks down at everyone, but at the same time, he's real jolly and bust. But there's also a lot of arrogance and whatnot thrown in with his jolly robustness, and he looks down on everyone who isn't him. He feels a certain responsibility since he's so much better than everyone else. With great power comes great responsibility. So I'm basically Spider-Man.
Yeah. So do you want to actually, since we don't actually know your beliefs and instincts yet, because you haven't read them off, you want to go ahead and read off those for us?
If I don't handle it personally, it won't get done right. Therefore, I will stop everyone else from ruining this venture.
Oh boy. That's a good one.
Even though my wife is crazy, I still love her. I will prevent her from getting herself into too much trouble. Since everyone is older than me, it's my responsibility to take care of the lesser. So I will take care of the lizard dude.
Oh right, Connor, real quick, let's make a name for your guy. So let's see here. It's kind of like Central American, South American naming scheme. So let me pull up this real quick and see if there's something that interests you. Unless you have like a new Umhadi name, like you just have appropriated a name from the culture around you. What do you think, Connor? Can you hear me?
What? Yeah, I don't understand what you
like.
But you're gonna post.
Do you have
names.
Well, okay. So I'm asking you. Do you have like a native name, or have you like appropriated like a common name from the culture around you?
Probably a cultural name.
Okay, so you just have the similar kind of names to everybody else.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And yeah, you were a slave, so maybe you weren't ever given a name, and you just kind of named yourself from the kind of names that are around you. Okay, so this is an example. You have Con. You have
How about Con or?
you have
Uh,
Podino.
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 No.
I actually kind of like that name.
Oh.
You have Mystiades.
You know what? Podino.
Podino. Awesome.
Yep.
Well, at this point, how long has Connor been in my service, so to say?
I don't know, Connor. So Connor, go
I
ahead.
mean, how long has Podino been in your
Right.
service?
What's your? Can you or Connor? Can you go to your display name and then change that to? Connor?
I just did, and it didn't do anything.
You have to press save.
I did. There we go.
Okay. Oh, cool. Yeah. So how long has he? Have you been a servant?
Not long.
Okay.
So, just as a little bit of narrative, right before we leave our venture,
Sure.
I give you a bunch of, like I give you a few outfits of finery and some ornate dagger or knives and whatnot, because I'm just that awesome. And I'm like, oh yeah, I can't have my subordinates living in squalor and whatnot. Yeah.
Sure. So Connor, in inclusion or Podino rather, in inclusion to your like simple like the prisoner shiv knife that you had, you also have a collection of like ceremonial knives, like ornate looking stuff. So, and
They're still completely functional.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. And yeah. So Avion, you don't even have to roll for that because you have 7 resources. So that would be really easy for you to buy. So.
Yeah.
And I thought Antonius had resources.
Yeah.
Can you give me a firebomb?
He's the financier, correct?
Yeah. He financed the whole expedition. So.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It looks like you're drinking like a giant like mug of vodka or something. It's like, who's to say that I'm not?
Who's to say that I'm not?
Yeah.
You might be, for all you can tell.
Just for reference, Avion and Jostos, you both have the traits mercantile, light blonde hair, and I can't remember what the other one was. Let me check for Theo. And determined. So those are all things that people perceive about you because you are Verudian.
Okay.
So I added it to Jostos, but I'll add it to yours too, Avion. Real quick, Connor, what are 3 traits that define? What are 3 things that people think about Dragon Bloods in this area? What are preconceptions that they might have?
Ugly?
Okay.
No. No, exotic.
Okay, awesome. Yeah.
Honorable?
Honorable? Okay. Yeah, that makes total sense for the Zay Dragonblood especially.
Hardworking.
Okay, cool. So this is interesting. So they actually have a relatively good view of them in the sense of like their specific traits. They just think that they're lesser because they're not humans. Yeah, okay.
So more of a pity and less of a scowl.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, but you're just not civilized. You're the noble savage. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
good.
Um. Okay. So yeah. So Avion is walking up to the to the ship. So you're like walking through all these dock workers. Getting close to the ship. We'll say that just for simplicity's sake, you've already met with Trevor's character, like off screen, and talked to him about the financing and all that stuff, and he's already gone on board the ship, so you're not meeting him in this scene or anything like that. So you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, so you're walking up, and you have your wife next to you, Talia, and I have her picture up on the. I'll show the picture to all of you guys. This is what she looks like. She's like a dark-haired beauty, which is a little bit uncommon for this area. Most of the Viridians have, again, the light blonde hair. So she's actually from Torius, which is northern kingdom north of Virudis, or north of New Amhati, this jungle area that you're in, beyond mountain range. So it's they're very like militaristic up there, very like noble people. I think they probably have the closest to what a medieval knight might be in this world. And so yeah, so she's walking next to Avion, basically like scanning everything, making sure that no one is giving Avion a wrong look. Like she like stares down a couple of dock workers who are like staring at Avion's like fanciness, and she just like gives them a look like, you better not be staring, like go do your job kind of a thing. And she like brandishes her weapon just a little bit. She has it like slung over her shoulder. She has the this long staff club thing with the studs on it. What was her life paths again, Jared? I didn't write them down for some reason. Yeah, I'm trying to remember like what was her life like? Oh, I guess she was a sailor, because she has knots and
I thought
stuff.
she was a slave first.
No, she's not a slave. She was born at sea.
Yeah.
Looks like.
I thought at one point she was a slave, though, and then that's how we met, because...
I don't think it was actual slavery. I think it was like virtual slavery, probably. Like she was like an indentured servant or something on aboard a ship.
Okay.
And yeah, yeah, how did they exactly go down where you met her and then romanced her? Like what? I can't remember off the top.
Well, what happened was she was on a ship,
Uh-huh.
a pirate ship, and they attacked my giant, fully armed and guarded ship, and
Sure.
we destroyed them, and then freed all the innocents.
Okay.
It's not a word.
And then you saw that she was skilled at weapons, and so you kind of like hired her, and then slowly you guys fell in love and got married.
Yeah.
Cool.
Slap down them pirates.
Yeah, so she's walking next to you, very close. And I think we see in her movement, like she has this tension about her, where she's definitely like making sure that no one's looking at you funny, that kind of thing. But she also has this tenderness about the way she walks because she's next to you, right? Like she knows that you're here, and that comforts her. Even though she's worried about protecting you, like she's also comforted by your presence. And I think we can see that in the way she walks. She kind of like glances at you just slightly and kind of gives you a slight smile, and then goes back to like being vigilant over the horizon. And then I think we see a very skinny, draconic man slinking behind the two of them. So what does Podino look like? Con, I just love that name. That is one of my favorite names. You're muted.
There we go. Okay, yeah, it wouldn't let me unmute myself. Okay. What did I look like? Is that what you said?
Yeah, what do you look like?
I mean, I'm a skilly, scaled reptilian.
Skilly, scaled, you mean
Skinny.
Yeah.
Skinny, scaled reptilian.
Okay. What color are you?
And very
What
skilly as well.
color are your scales?
Yellow.
Really? So
Dark
you have
green.
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 Okay. Is it like a bright green or like a darker
Dark
green?
green.
Okay, so like a
Like
dark,
a forest green.
yeah, dark forest green. Okay, cool, awesome. Um,
I'm very
uh,
scarred.
very scarred. Okay, cool, cool. On like your face area or all around?
Mostly on my torso, but a little bit on my face
Okay,
too.
so,
Yeah.
yeah. So you have clothes. What kind of clothes are you wearing?
Um, probably nice clothes. Since I'm under the employment of Avion. Avion, would you give me armor at all, or no?
I mean, I don't think you'd want it because you don't have the armor skill, and then it just
Right.
gives you a bunch of minuses.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So no, I'm wearing some nice clothes, but practical clothes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so like utilitarian, nice looking like sailors, like the laced shirt or the laced shirt,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. All right, cool, awesome. So yeah, so you're slinking behind. What are you doing? Exactly. Like, are you gonna talk to anyone, or you just follow behind? Like what?
Yeah, I just follow behind. I'll play the quiet character for now.
Okay, all right, cool. Where is Jostos? While the three of them are walking on the ship.
Probably pestering the dock hands to make sure that they put everything in the right places in the kitchen. Or, when they're bringing in foodstuffs, make sure they're packing the larder properly.
Yeah. And so, yeah, you have a cooking of two. So are you just kind of like bullcrapping your way through this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I would probably know some
Mhm.
being, having grown up on a ship, having helped cook some previous voyages, move stuff around, particularly as a younger child.
Mhm.
You get sent off to carve to peel the potatoes
Yeah.
and that sort of thing. So I have a general idea of how they typically pack a larder
Mhm.
on a ship, and a general gist of why you don't pack this on top of the other thing, and just from conversations and stuff in the past. But when it comes down to actually sitting down, putting things in pots, that's where I don't have any skill.
Okay, sure.
I have vestigial skills in that area.
Sure,
I mean,
yeah.
I can put together a stew, but whether the stew is very good or not,
Yeah.
is
So
it
yeah.
average or good. But I do have an idea of how to pack things in. That's just
Sure.
part of being on a ship.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Yeah, so what I think we do is like we're following the three of them walking out of the ship, and so we kind of we focus on each of those characters, and we end with Podino, and he's like slinking behind, and then he kind of like does that like furtive look around, like we can tell as an audience that he's suspicious, and then we
No,
cut.
we don't. No, I have the inconspicuous skill. What are you talking about?
And don't you have an aura of innocence or something too?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay.
Nobody
You need to
suspects
give
a
the
thing.
audience some kind of foreshadowing, or it's going to be rather drastic and painful for them. Maybe that's the point. But
So
still.
are you playing the noble savage, Podino, then?
Yeah.
Like you're like walking tall, like just being quiet and mysterious but noble. Okay, so
Yeah.
so yeah, then we see that, and then we cut over to Jostos, and yeah, we see him, yelling at dock hands, who are putting all this, the food stuffs in there, and I think actually your voyage is going to be to Lucerta,
Okay.
so that's gonna be your destination. So we might
Cool.
see these characters at a later date in
Cool.
Lucerta, so that would be cool.
Cool.
So we'll that's kind of like the goal here. So they're packing up, enough food to last that voyage, and you're yelling out like, no, that's not what the potatoes
That barrel
go.
has apples in it.
Yeah.
Do not put the salted fish on top.
Do you want
Do
apples
not.
that taste like salted fish?
Why are we bringing apples on the sea voyage?
Scurvy.
They last for the first couple weeks, and you can do some pretty
guess.
good stuff with apples for a little while.
You can.
Yeah, scurvy for sure.
Well, we have a bunch of limes, though.
And
Limes
it's the citrus fruit really that's critical, but
That's true, but I mean, there's some vitamin C in most fruit.
yeah, but
All right, I'm gonna get some water real quick.
we're gonna bring apples. Well, we can, for the first couple weeks, we'll eat better than
Yeah, and
the end of the
you can
voyage,
cut
but-
up some apples into the beer and make it a little fruity. You know, those are those options.
Oh,
Yeah, so
I'm sure there's a way to roast them and stuff them with something.
Yep,
I'll figure it out.
you can also dry them,
Mhm.
you know, as little like snacky things.
that's what apricots are, right?
I mean, no. Dried apples are a completely different thing from apricots.
Well, I was joking, Caleb.
I was going to say, you better be joking there,
I
Jay.
knew you were joking. I just yeah. So so yeah, you're doing that, and I think what we do see is we see Gen walk in, and he has like very obviously a military man. He has like a couple of brooches on his like his nice uniform. I think he's actually joined like a legitimate mercenary company that has been like that specialized. They're like Marines basically. So like he has joined or he was hired. Him and some of the other mercenaries were hired by Trevor's character to basically protect the ship throughout the voyage. They're the guard, and so he kind of like does the like there's this like the archway or whatever into like the pantry, and you see his hand kind of like go there first, and then he kind of like leans in. He's like, "Hey, big brother, how's it going?"
Sorry, looking up name. Don't have. Why do I not have the name written down?
It's Gen.
Again. Okay. Yeah, it's late. I'm not. Okay.
How are you settling in?
Oh man, why can't I just? I can't think of anything to say all of a sudden.
You're
I am
speechless, brother.
Oh gosh, that just makes it worse, dude. Part of it is that I literally haven't thought like this character yet.
Sure, yeah.
So getting used to the way this character thinks is going to take me a while.
You have to like meld yourself into the.
Yeah, that really doesn't help. Remember that secondhand embarrassment thing we were talking about the other day?
Right.
Yeah, give me a minute.
Mhm.
Method acting and all that. And it's not necessarily. I overcomplicate things anyway, needlessly. But wow, it's gonna be a headache. Just wow.
Gotta take more of a vodka.
Oh, that's the stuff. So at this point, did I know he was coming on the voyage, or is this? I just knew they were going to be mercenaries to guard the ship, and not really. Know
No,
who
I
was-
mean he got you the position here, so
Good point.
Yep.
Good point.
You did know that. This is the first time you've seen him though, since he actually came later than you did.
Okay. Okay. I'm settling in fine, I think. I mean, if these fools don't keep stacking the salted meat on top of the citrus fruits, we should be okay. But
He kind of smiles. He's like, sounds like you're doing well then. So, do you remember much of what Mom taught us about cooking?
no, well enough, I would assume. I mean, you get a pot, you put water, and you sort of mix the stuff, and we're
Right.
good.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, you'll do
We're
great.
good.
You'll do great. It'll be great. And he like walks up to you and kind of like slaps you on the shoulder and he's like, "It's good to be back together."
It is. It is. It'll be hard, I think. Not being up there in the skies with you, but I mean,
Oh, I'm not going to be climbing much of the rigging anyway. Most of my regular sailor's life is kind of behind me.
oh, is it?
And he kind of like
Is it?
pulls out this like the rapier, and he's like, "I'm a man with a sword now."
Are you one of them? You're one of them. Yeah, they were annoying. I remember that gang of mercenaries. What was it? Third voyage?
Third voyage, yeah. They were a bunch of jerks.
I know. Wasn't it that they were gambling, weren't they? And somebody
Very
lost
badly
their
too.
entire pocket money to them, if I remember correctly.
I made a bad call. I was drunk. I mean, give me a break.
I was drunk too, but I didn't lose all my pocket money.
Well, that's because you didn't have any pocket money.
That's another story altogether. It's neither here nor there. The point is, don't go taking any cabin boy's pocket money, or I'll hear about it. We cooks hear about everything.
Oh, right. Yeah. Don't worry about it. The White Cross, they're better than that. I think I've really been lucky to be able to join them. I think they're good men, and they do good things.
I feel you'll do well with them.
There's like this moment of what, Connor?
I think this person is on the ship, or are we just not leaving?
Yeah, this is the person on the ship. This is his brother.
I wasn't sure yet.
So so there's this moment of pause, and then he kind of like just smiled. He's like, "Well, I'll see you. I'll see you around. I mean, we're gonna be on the same ship for I don't know how many weeks. It's gonna be unbearable." And he kind of like turns to leave. Yeah. He turns to leave, and then he goes up to the archway, and then he looks back and he says, "Take care of yourself. You do well, all right?"
I shall certainly try.
That is a spirit. And so he leaves, and it's interesting because like your guys' relationship has definitely shifted, because he's the one giving you the job and asking you how things are going, and you were the one who used to do that for him.
Mm-hmm. How do you tie a square knot, big brother? How do you unfurl the sails, big brother? And now it's...
And yeah, you've been gone, from him for about a year, and he's joined this White Cross, people, and apparently he's doing well for himself, and you feel this, this pang of like, I've missed some of his life, and I'm never going to be able to live that with him.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. And that he's a mercenary, and that's something I can't do. I could have, maybe I didn't necessarily want to, but it's not something I can do even anymore. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm going to lash out at the next dockhand coming through. You're doing it wrong.
Awesome. Yeah. So that's where we kind of cut from you. Like there's this moment where you're just kind of like, reminiscing by yourself in the room, and then another dockhand comes in.
It's younger kid carrying in something.
Yeah.
Don't put that there. It goes over there.
It's like, oh, sorry, sir. And then he goes over there and sets it down.
Then just sort of pat him no problem. Pat him on the shoulder.
Yeah. So, what are you all doing as like so they're people are preparing to leave, and they're gonna set off soon. It's like early morning. There's been a little bit of a delay in when you're gonna leave. You were gonna leave like at dawn, but there was some delays, so it's now about like 9 a.m. And you're just kind of starting to get ready to push off. So yeah, what are you all doing?
I'm on the deck orating and be like, ha men.
So you gather everybody around to give a speech.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the speech?
It's like, haha, man, we're about to shut off on a grand adventure. Smashing. You've all been hand chosen because you are the best that you do. Yes. And I'm gonna roll an oratory.
Oratory, yep. So your intent here is to what?
To spark their adventurous spirits.
Okay, all right, awesome.
All right.
Okay. I should have given you an ob. It's their will, so it's like.
But is it though? I mean, being optimistic at the start of the voyage.
Well, yeah. Here, let me look at oratory real quick. Let's see. 'Cause
Okay.
we've never actually rolled an oratory roll yet, so in this game. So.
I think I rolled an untrained one once.
I think you did actually, yeah. Yeah, it's the most common will exponent in the crowd, so I'm assuming it's gonna be 3. So you don't have any fate. Actually, yes, you do. What's the? Yeah, I'm trying to remember what was the standard beginning of fate points and stuff for everybody. I know you all start with 1 persona, so go ahead and write that on your sheet.
Okay.
And
We started out with 3 last time, didn't we?
And 3 fate. Yep, that makes sense. Yep. So 3 fate points and 1 persona. So you can spend a fate to reroll that 6, Jared.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's the only. All right, cool. So you do succeed then. So yeah, they're all like, I mean, none of them really know you. So you're like this rich, investor who hasn't, he's just been on the sidelines like giving out the money to Trevor. And Trevor's character isn't here, and we'll have to make up a reason why not. But I think he might be like, he's doing something important below decks, and he can't be bothered right now. And I'll make up something. Yeah, I'll make up something that
ledgers or some.
Yeah, well,
some important nonsense.
I think it's gonna be some sort of like important like thing that came up, like, oh, I need to take care of this kind of a thing. I'll figure it out, but I'll have a week. So yeah, he's not here, but yeah, the rest of the men are like, this is great, like, because they know you by reputation. You're the Volus, you're Avion Volus, like you're one of the most successful merchants in the city. And they're all like, if he thinks we can do it, then yeah, we can do it. Like, this is great. Like, we have so many resources. We have a great ship. They're looking around and they have like these high class mercenaries. They maybe skip by Jostos, so they're like, maybe the cook isn't so great, but everything else is.
But isn't that normal?
Fair
for
enough.
a sea voyage?
Fair enough. But yeah, so they're all like, oh man, this is gonna be a great voyage. Like, the horizon is ahead of us. We have the open ocean. It's gonna be a great voyage. And so they all kind of like wander off, split off, disperse, happy and adventurous, ready to undertake the voyage. And so the captain gives the order, and the men, they heave off. They do all the rigging stuff. They hoist the sail, and then you're off, ready for adventure. What is Podino doing during this time, Connor? I'm assuming that he's gonna start with some plans here.
Yeah, no, he's rolling inconspicuous.
Okay, do you want to turn up your mic a little bit? It's really, really quiet.
What?
Your mic is really, really quiet. Oh.
The thing by your face.
Huh?
So you're gonna roll inconspicuous, you said?
Right, yeah. I'm going to factor in slave deck wise myself a modifier.
Okay. What's your intent here? Like, what are you doing?
I just want to make sure that when I do try stuff, nobody will think twice about anything. That I just become the lovable guy.
Okay.
Like, oh, that person, that guy, the guy that, did that for me the other day, there's no way he did that.
Mm. Okay, let me look at inconspicuous real quick, and let's.
Yeah, I was about to say that doesn't sound like inconspicuous.
Yeah, that sounds like like rapport or persuasion, that kind of stuff. But
Is there a skill in this game?
no, there isn't. But
I was about to say.
we just played
So-
we just played a Fate game on Sunday, so that's what I'm thinking of.
So I can't do any type of response thing for inconspicuous?
Yeah,
Or it has
okay,
to be
so,
some sort of response
so,
thing?
So inconspicuous is the ability to go unnoticed in a crowd. So really what you're looking for is something like conspicuous, to be honest.
Really?
Inconspicuous is tested and versus tested against observation. Yeah, so this would only be for if you want to go unnoticed doing something,
Okay.
which is great for an assassin, but
Yeah.
Great for
Okay.
making friends.
I will just...
do you want to just play to the Dragon Blood stereotypes?
No. I'm going to befriend Josh's character.
Okay. So you see this awkward-looking cook off to the side
Awkward looking. Well, I suppose.
with your leg, at least, and your
I'm
and your
standing
scar.
Standing awkwardly. It's kind of striking, dramatic, kind of silvery gray. It's healed from something. So I got it younger.
Uh huh.
I did pick out a picture for my character.
I saw that. Yeah.
So he's
I'll pop it up here.
fairly average height, kind of athletic build, except that standing kind of awkwardly as if his leg doesn't bend right. Or
Okay.
better, as if his leg's kind of slightly crooked and doesn't bend.
What are you currently doing? Can I help you like load stuff onto the ship like you guys were talking about earlier?
Well, everything's kind of been loaded already, right? Caleb?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So at this point, I think I'm probably going to be making my way back to the kitchen. Well, no, I'm going to kind of lean on the mast, try to be out of the way, and yet let people clear before I try to make my way back to the kitchen, so that I'm not walking to the kitchen with my bad leg in front of the entire crew. So the idea is just to sort of wait till there's fewer people
Sure.
on the deck,
Yeah.
so I don't create a big scene. And so I can spend some time above deck before I go down into the galleys.
Sure. So that's you see Podino.
Okay. I asked the dumb question, is he the cook? Even though I already know.
Oh,
Just initiate some sort of conversation.
okay.
I am the cook, yes. Are you looking for something in particular? Because I don't give out favors. I don't take requests. Maybe.
I'm not gonna put in your mother's special ingredient.
No. I wanted to offer myself up as an assistant, sir. I'm very good with knives.
Very good with knives.
That's not necessarily the kind of thing you go around saying to
Well,
gain
I
goodwill.
suppose I could put you to work cutting potatoes.
But
I'm
no,
planning-
this is the thing. This is the thing, Caleb. Is my character is so innocent and inconspicuous that just becomes
Right. Okay.
like this adorable thing.
Sure.
It's not this.
And
Oh, he's good with knives. It's
he's the noble savage, remember?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he-
this is just all a part of my
as far
ploy.
as
This
I
is
can
so
tell.
horrible.
I mean,
Yeah.
being a sailor, I'm fairly cosmopolitan, but not to the point where I don't have any
Any
preconceived
prejudice,
notions or any of the common prejudices.
Yep.
So, certainly we can find a job for you. I believe I have a bunch of potatoes need peeling for tonight's supper. This afternoon's lunch, rather, since supper's.
Oh, very good, sir. Very good, sir. I will get on it right away.
Well, follow me then. And I sort of stump off toward the kitchen or toward the galley.
Awesome.
All right.
So yeah, we get some montage shots of you like cutting potatoes, and Jonathan's like looking over and saying like,
pretty good.
Yeah. What's Avion doing? So I think Talia comes up to you, Avion, and she says, Avion, one of those mercenaries was giving you a weird look. I think he might be trying to kill you. And this is the thing. This is so common. Like, she does this all the time.
Yeah. I just want it's fine. It's fine. If you were to try anything, you could surely handle it.
Yeah, she kind of like, smiles slightly like, aw, like, like, because that's like one of the best compliments that you can give your wife is like, you're good at beating people up. So, yeah, so she says, all right, well, just be on the lookout, all right? I don't want anything to happen to you.
Aww.
It's
Avner has good parents.
fine. Nothing's going to happen.
What did you say, Connor?
I said Avner has good parents. Kinda.
Even though we're probably going to die.
Yeah, so there's a character called Avner in our old D&D game,
Mhm.
which is the game that this world kind of spawned, or
Spawned
all the
this
way
world,
around
you mean?
that spawned this world. And so yeah, and all the things that happen in the D&D game are very different from what are actually happened with those characters in this world. But these are one of like this really arrogant, annoying nobleman that they encountered. This is his parents. And young Avner is back at the city with his tutors. While his parents are on a sea voyage. So we'll see if they die here. Which would explain why he had daddy issues. So,
Well, I mean, I think this already does, but
well, he's like 6 right now. So, yeah. So she kind of like Talia. So where are you, Avion?
We're probably just on like the main upper deck,
Yeah,
like
that's what I
by
thought.
the helm is.
So I think what she does actually is once you're like you give her this oh it's fine we're good, like don't worry about it, you can handle it anyway. She kind of like she has her little her staff club thing, and she kind of leans it against the main or the rail, and she just reaches down and like holds your hand.
Oh.
aww.
And you guys are like looking off at the ocean together.
I'm smiling. What's the word? Jovially.
Jovially, yeah.
Jovially, yeah.
One of you has to die. This is what has to happen in this game. Yeah, so I mean the rest of the afternoon passes uneventfully, so you guys are, just doing your normal stuff. You're cutting potatoes. Jostos, how about we go ahead and make this first cooking roll, shall we? Let's see how good this lunch is.
All right.
I love how we're literally going to make that roll.
Yeah, I mean, it's a skill, and he doesn't have a very high skill of it.
All right, I'm gonna make my cookie roll.
So what are you making? You making a stew?
Just a sort of a light stew.
Okay. Obviously with potatoes.
It'll be some potatoes.
No, the potatoes are for tomorrow.
Oh yes, we're gonna let them sit overnight to form a nice green film. When the film
Fermented
is
potato
just-
stew. It's
When
great.
the film is just about 3 millimeters thick, we scotch them in a pan and then serve them up raw. I'm going to fork in mystery meat-wise.
Of course you will, because there's going to be some random crap meat that no one knows exactly what it is that's going into this stew.
Oh yeah. And what are we looking at for?
You could definitely fork in fire building.
Good point.
Because you're
You're
making a fire to make this stew.
Well, hopefully.
And I think Connor or Podino is offering help with his knives.
So that helps.
In making the fire?
No, in the cooking. The
was
role
about
he's
to
making
say.
is cooking. So he was forking
Oh,
fire
okay.
building in.
Mhm.
and
Okay.
your knives.
All
So.
right.
All right.
So your intent here is to make a good meal that everybody likes.
Yes.
Okay.
What are we looking at for an obstacle?
Well, let's. I mean, we've never made a cooking roll on this in this game before, so let's go ahead and look at cooking.
All right.
What are they doing?
They're singing to the dog.
Is he
I see.
Yeah. So I think it's gonna be
Makes total sense.
thing?
I think it's gonna be an ob 2. Mainly because it's very simple. It's it's stew.
Mhm.
Normally it would be a little bit higher than that because there's so many people that you're making it for. But yeah, just with a simple stew, let's make it up 2.
All right.
Oh wow! Oh no! You got a
Ah.
6. You got a 6.
Thinking I'm going to spend a fate on that
Okay,
one.
there you go. Oh no!
How is that even possible?
Oh no!
You had 6 dice.
So
Day one.
so John Toast. It's so great because the stakes have risen because you failed to make a good stew. This is burning wheel, my friends. Turn up your mic, Connor.
While he's cooking, I poison the food.
Really?
Day one. Meal 1. All right.
Okay, I mean, do you have poison?
Here's wishing I had taken a lower brawling and a higher cooking.
Should I have taken a skill for poison?
I mean, yeah, it's a skill.
Really? I thought I'd just pour something crappy in there.
I mean, yeah, you can pour something crappy in there, but knowing what is going to actually kill people and doing it discreetly so that, like, he doesn't notice.
Well, that's inconspicuous
So
and
I guess,
assassin.
I guess that would be, yeah, inconspicuous. But let's look at, I'm going to look at poisons real quick.
Can I just roll assassin wise?
Okay, so poisons is a specialized apothecary skill that allows the character to concoct harmful substances from herbs, minerals,
concoct.
and animalia.
Okay.
So you can just drop something in there, but again, like knowing what to drop is the key here. I don't think you
So that
really.
we won't taste or
Assassin wise.
Again,
Assassination wise.
You're gonna make a roll here, but you can probably. They said you can't fork assassination wise because you're not gonna know the skill.
No. Assassination wise is the skill I'm rolling to figure out what I should poison him with.
That is true. That's actually very true.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you're doing.
And then I can fork in inconspicuous.
Why are they singing Duel of the
What's the op?
Fates? Up there?
Don't know.
Ob's gonna be 2.
Can I fork in or what's the op? Yeah, op 2?
And okay, so wait, you're trying to get poison that will kill everyone? Connor, you're trying to poison it so that it will kill everyone?
Yes.
Okay, that's ob 3. No, ob 4.
Oh, I succeeded
ob 4.
anyway.
It's an ob 4. Yeah, it's ob 4. I'm looking at Wise's right now.
4?
Yeah.
Why'd you change it on me?
Because I'm looking at the... It doesn't matter. It didn't change your roll.
So?
Oh, and he,
Right, he should totally get a reroll.
he just died.
Oh, bye, Connor.
Did you rage quit?
I can't do this anymore!
There we go. You all disappeared.
So again, this is the knowledge skill, Connor, to know what to put in the poison. So with what you're given in the pantry, so you're like looking around at all the different stuff, you can't find anything, or you at least can't think of anything with the ingredients that you can mix together to actually kill people. You can make them all really sick, but it wouldn't necessarily kill them. Like you could pour.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay, you just make people really sick?
Yeah.
Okay, that
Why
works.
not?
You can do that. So make an inconspicuous roll to go unnoticed while doing this.
Oh shoot! I forgot my observation and perception. Should have taken that as a skill. Oh well.
So yeah, you're gonna be making a untrained observation test, Jostos. Here.
You know what? No. No, not gonna do it.
Not gonna do it.
Nope.
Okay.
You didn't tell me the ob. I'm not gonna do it.
Observation is based off of perception, correct?
Yeah, it looks like Podino's not gonna actually poison it though. So.
Okay. Well, I want to add that to my list of things that I will learn because
it's on perception. Yep.
That I want to learn at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So we see Podino like looking through these ingredients, and then he's just like has this like frown on his face, and he just puts it back and just goes back to cutting the potatoes and putting them in the stew.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
And the audience just thinks that I had this really awesome like family recipe that I was gonna family spice I was gonna put in it to make it better.
So let's actually say that Jostos actually notices you looking at those random ingredients.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I'm not gonna. Connor, why not? Why not?
Because.
I mean, you're gonna have to roll an inconspicuous, if that's the case.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, just looking through the ingredients could look suspicious under the right circumstances. So, if he caught you at the wrong time, so yeah, Jostos, go ahead and roll observation, but yeah, you can roll inconspicuous. Wow.
What?
You got no successes.
So my base obstacle is 0.
Yeah, your base obstacle is 0.
Oh man, you suck.
Cool. I got literally all 4 of my basic successes.
Oh man, you failed every single one. He succeeded.
You have a +5 and I have a doubled ob, and I suck.
Oh.
I don't know.
Wow. Okay, so this what happens then is Jostos finds
I find him digging through the spices, right?
digging through what would be the most awkward of things for him to be digging through that would just set off red flags. I think he's looking at the rat poison, all right? Like, and you find him just like looking at this rat poison and then like looking at the stew. and yeah, Podino, you're like you could have sworn that he had stepped out for a second, right? And then but he just steps like right back in.
Did you find rats in the pantry already? It's usually at least a week or 2 before they show up.
This is
No, you're gonna go wash your hands after touching that. I don't want you touching any more food until you've washed your hands.
Wow.
Of course. Sorry. I thought it was a special spice my family used to make.
Yeah, no. We don't put
that's a false
spices
roll.
there.
That's a falsehood roll.
Untrained.
Untrained falsehood, but you have a call-on trait that you could use. So, so Jostos, this is again an observation. So,
all right,
but
cool.
but both of you are untrained,
Also,
so nothing doubles at all. So,
Okay.
Falsehood is
based on will.
So will then roll against half of his.
No, because you're both
falsehood because it'll double.
You're both untrained. You're both untrained with these, so it won't matter.
It'll double automatically on roll 20, right?
It won't double.
Inconspicuous?
It won't double the successes automatically, so you'll just use the successes.
Right.
Yep.
Oh, right. Okay.
What'd you say?
Can I fork it inconspicuous?
No, because it's untrained, so you can't.
Ah. Could have sworn that I just rolled. There we go.
Okay. Observation in response.
All right. So
but
the tie goes to me because I have the trait Aura of Innocence.
Cool. So So yeah, you look at this guy, this poor savage, and you're just like, oh, bless your heart, you know.
You're trying to help out. I get it. You're
Thanks.
trying, but that's rat poison. Please do not put that in the stew.
It's so fun.
When I was younger, we were out at sea. We'd been out to sea for probably near 2 months and hadn't seen land in about 5 weeks. And we were all hungry, terribly hungry, because the cook had died rather unexpectedly in a completely unrelated incident involving some sea monsters.
So wait, 1 second, Podino. While he's starting to just go ramble into this story, how are you responding to this?
I am very intent
Okay,
on
all
listening.
right.
So here
That's
we
not a
are.
falsehood roll at all, because I'm a genuinely am intent on learning everything I can about him.
Right.
I'm just doing it in an inconspicuous way,
Mm-hmm.
saying that I'm actually interested.
And so here we are with no cook. And so as you can imagine, we're eating what we can scrape together. And one of the sailors thought he was a cook, and he, so he came up with all of these recipes and tried all of these things, and we eventually made it through our entire larders worth of food. And there was very, very little left. And see, my brother and I were younger than probably ought to be digging around in a larder, but particularly the larder on this ship, because it was also where the weapons locker was. Captain wasn't very bright, but that's neither here nor there. My brother's digging around, and he just gets he picks up the thing of rat poison, thinking, oh, it's this food, and he pours it all over himself. It's in his eyes, in his face, on his hands, and quicker than you can blink, he's laying there on the floor completely sick. It was the most disgusting thing you've ever seen. And he was sick in bed for 5-6 days. It was horrible. Moral of the story, don't play with rat poison, ever.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
So this begs the question: what actually did go wrong to make the stew bad? Because something went wrong.
Now, I failed by 1 point, right? I didn't fail by more than one.
Yeah, you didn't
failed by 1 point.
Completely fail.
So I didn't make a stew that everybody loves. I didn't make a stew that everybody really liked.
Okay.
Because that was
yeah.
the stated intent, was to make a stew that everybody liked.
Sure.
It's not to make a stew that's edible. I would have
right. Yeah.
That would have been a little bit lower, and that would have had more drastic consequences had I gotten it wrong.
Yeah. So I think what we
probably just like.
Yeah,
I think perhaps it's that just people don't like it. It's not great.
I think what we get is like we're kind of like the camera's like going through the mass of the sailors who are just eating their stew and stuff like that, and you hear a couple comments of them like, this isn't the best stew I've ever had, but then they seem all hopefully optimistic, because again, like Avion had this big speech about rousing adventure, like they're still on that, we're on an adventure high, and the drudgery of the day-to-day experience hasn't set in yet, and so they're all like, oh no, it's fine, it's the rough of the road, right? Like this is the kind of stuff we live on. Yeah.
That's the sort of
thing that makes camping in a tent fun the first couple days, and then it stops being fun.
The sort of reason why you get all excited to go to the boundary waters, and then once you get there, you're like, this is horrible. Why did I ever choose this?
Yeah. So it doesn't go too badly. I think what happens is Gen comes up to you, Jostos, and he kind of like. He's putting the best face on it. He's taking a big bite, and he's like, "You're getting there, Jostos. You're getting there."
It's horrible, isn't it?
No, it's not horrible.
That's a great vote of confidence right there.
And then he laughs and he's like, no, don't worry about it, brother. Look, seriously, you're not a cook. I mean, you're. This is just a thing you're learning how to do. It's all good. We're fine. It's edible, right? Like there's no poison in it, right?
Well, I did catch my kitchen hand looking at the rat poison, and he did comment about it being, he was apparently looking for some spice that his family used to use in stews all the time, but he looked at the rat poison, and you know very well how that goes, don't you?
Yes.
Roll an observation for Delilah.
Wait,
Hear
what?
that. You should roll an observation roll for Telia to hear that. The rat
Yeah,
poison.
I will.
I have absolutely no reason to keep it quiet, so
Sure, yeah.
this is great.
Yeah, I think she just hears it. Yeah, I think she hears
So
it.
the thing, she's just ultra paranoid and hears
Oh yeah,
everything.
oh yeah. I mean that's
Cool.
I've based all of her beliefs and instincts off of that fact.
Cool.
So I think what happens is, I mean, Gen just first off says he's like he kind of like sets down the stew like on like a crate, and he's like, yeah, like I'm not gonna eat any more of this. You said rat poison, and I remember exactly how that went down. And then Talia like kind of saunters over.
It wasn't nearly as dramatic.
Right, yeah, and he knows that too, but yeah.
As the story I told to Podino.
Yeah.
I would assume that you'll just automatically take about 50% off of anything I tell, and if I actually make a falsehood roll for it, go ahead and take off closer to 75%.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, so Talia like kind of saunters over, and she has her, her what is it called again? I need to look that up because I stopped calling it the club staff thing. Kanabo? Yeah, Kanabo. She has her Kanabo, and she's holding it, not in a threatening way, but in a very like I have this way.
In the sort of air of confidence, I have this. I know how to.
Use this, and she's like,
with me.
Cook.
Yes. Can I help you?
What did I hear about rat poison?
Oh, there was a deckhand who put the rat poison in the kitchen, and that needs to get moved. Can you send a cabin boy over to help me move it later? I don't want to move it myself. Don't like rat poison.
Yeah, so she gives you that look like I have my eyes on you, and then just kind of like walks off. But that's the look she gives everyone. So.
But I don't necessarily know this yet.
Yeah,
I mean, I assume I've seen her with Avion.
Avion.
Avion. Okay. I assume I've seen her with Avion, and at least gotten the idea she's kind of jumpy and overexcitable.
Yeah. So.
Or not jumpy necessarily, just sort of on edge.
Paranoid.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Words. We use words.
Yep.
There's a reason we use these things called words.
Yeah. So I think that goes over well. I think that actually was the dinner. So I think like the lunch was like biscuits and like just like a simple like lunch of snacky kind of stuff that you didn't really have to prepare. You just kind of like hand it out, like had this crate of biscuits, and you're like, "Hey, here you go," kind of a thing. But yeah, this is like
they're fresh because we're just leaving port, so might as well enjoy the fresh ones.
And you got seven resources just leaving the port, so you got some fresh biscuits.
Good biscuits with some honey.
Sure, yeah. I'm sure Avion has spared no expense to make his sailors happy, at least in the first couple days of the voyage.
Yeah, can't really buy anything in the middle of the ocean.
Exactly.
You'd be surprised what you can barter off of a sea monster.
Jostos says to nothing.
I'm liking this character now.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like towards evening this is happening, and so we kind of like close the day off with these soldiers being hopefully optimistic about the cooking there on out. And Podino, did you want to try anything else? Maybe when it's getting darker.
was Trevor's character.
Okay, fair enough. Avion, what are you up to?
Actually, are we almost done? We're almost done, right?
Probably just chilling, playing checkers with a deckhand well, no, not a deckhand. One of the mercenaries.
So Gen.
Or chess.
Let's say it's
Yeah.
It's Jostos'
Playing
brother.
chess with a Gen.
Okay. How is that going?
I like to think I'm winning.
Okay, well, I'm definitely going to give Gen strategy games as an actual skill. Now that you've said that,
Oh, this is great.
so let's
So
go
it's
ahead.
definitely something he's had to pick up from the mercenaries,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
It's not anything on my skill
And again,
list. And if
he
it
has
would have
some-
been it would
yeah.
have been on mine.
He has some general skill points, so
Yeah.
Um,
If it was on his, it would have been on mine for the first most of our lives.
mhm. So
And I would have beaten him.
So, Avion, go ahead and make roll a being learned strategy games roll. I believe
That's an actual skill.
Yeah, strategy games.
Wow. All right. What is that based off of?
It's
Perception, I'm guessing.
It's based on will and perception. So when you add it to your being learned, check the little check mark next to where you would put in the root of it, and it will open up another space for you to put in another root, and you just put in both of those, and it will be it's the middle of those, the average of those.
All right. What's the ob?
I'm gonna go ahead and roll for him. The ob is going to be a 2.
Okay.
So yeah.
Can I add estate management?
No.
That's basically a strategy game.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Not in the same way that chess is, though.
It's all in the same part of the brain.
There aren't principles that you could take directly from estate management and apply them to chess. So.
What about bureaucracy?
No. That's even less like that.
It is.
And it's also an untrained role, so you couldn't have worked anything in.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to. Okay. This is being really slow. Oh man.
Oh wow.
You really had 5 dice. That's sad. Yeah. So I mean, he wins. I think he does it graciously because he knows that you're paying his bill. His check. But I mean, he still beats you by a lot.
What? He only got 2. I got 1.
No, but the obstacle for you is 4, not 2.
Yeah.
So his success is doubled. So it's 1 versus a 4. So
yeah,
he beats you very badly. But he's gracious about it. He lets you think that you're actually okay at the game.
Yeah.
He's like, better luck next time, Baron Wallace.
Oh, Jiminy Crickets, you are a very bright one indeed.
Jiminy Crickets.
Dear me.
I think that's an actual saying.
Okay. Apparently it's a Viridian saying to say Jiminy Crickets.
I just invented it.
There's a reason for that, isn't there?
Pope's pantaloons.
Is it perhaps not Jiminy, but Gemini crickets?
There we go.
Because of an old,
Because the cricket statues that have gems for eyes. Gemini crickets.
Yes, that was a common feature in religious statuary at one point.
Yep.
And then sort of fell significantly out of favor when the religion of Serrano sort of became more, because that's more dominant, right?
Not necessarily in Nuum Hati.
No, okay.
Yeah, because it's more or less isolationist. Like they don't like spreading the religion out.
Okay, so they're not a really evangelistic type religion
because they're kind of racially superior. Like they like Serrano and Serrano only being the faithful.
Sure. So it's one of those where other people can be part of it, but they have to but it's principally Serrano because
Yep.
that's who we are.
Yep.
Okay, so it's much more of a
It's more like ancient Israel rather than Catholicism.
sure.
In that
So
sense.
it's much more of a
Yeah.
it's much more of a national religion.
Yep.
It's part of the identity. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But yeah, that's totally a part of the world now, the Gemini cricket thing. So this is why I play these role-playing games in this world, so I just get all these ideas for awesome crap.
You wouldn't know that this was necessarily well, I suppose there could be a special Gemini cricket statue that has some serious implications or something.
I'm gonna have
That could be a
Podle.
thing.
I'm gonna have Podle steal a Gemini cricket statue at some point.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Podino, did you want to do anything when it gets darker?
Yes, I want to go and spy on because we're almost done, right?
Yeah.
I want to just go spy on what Trevor's doing.
Okay. So let's just go ahead and end there then. And so we end as Podino. Actually, go ahead and make an inconspicuous roll for us.
Okay.
To like be indiscreet about the fact that you're going towards the he's not the investor, he's the owner of the enterprise, going to his cabin.
Is he anywhere near the slave deck?
No. And it's up to Trevor actually whether or not there are slaves on this ship.
Okay.
I still haven't we still didn't know that yet, but
Um,
yeah, I'm looking right now. Inconspicuous. Oh, it's against will or against observation. But again, it's kind of against like everybody's. So I'm just gonna say base ob 3. Because your intent is to get to the cabin without being noticed, correct?
yeah, I failed.
So you failed. So I think Talia definitely notices you. But she misinterprets it as you're trying to, like, she doesn't necessarily mistrust you because you were hired also by Avion to protect him.
Mm-hmm.
But she definitely notices you. And I think she notices you trying not to be noticed. Right?
Okay.
So she kind of like just steps up next to you and she says, "Do you see something?" As in like implying like, are you trying to, is there someone trying to hurt Avion and you're sneaking around trying to, follow him or whatever? She's giving you the benefit of the doubt.
I think I'm concerned about the man that has been underneath the deck for so long. I think, what could he be doing down there? Could he be a threat?
Yeah, I think she narrows her eyes and she's like, I guess it is a little bit suspicious now that you mention it. Let's go check it out, shall we?
All right.
I'm sure he wouldn't be opposed to me at least. I mean, he knows me through Avion. Just checking up and seeing how he's doing. And then yeah, she looks at you. She's like,
I would feel very much. And I actually do fumble over my words. I would feel very much better if you did that.
good. Are you coming with?
Absolutely.
So, do you know how to speak Garrick better than you're letting on?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
He's
figured.
playing this noble savage character.
Yeah.
And
Oh, it's so good.
I'm liking this character too, Connor. No, I don't like him, but I'm liking the character. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, this really is. So yeah, you guys are gonna check that out, and we'll open that up as with the next thing with Trevor.
Okay. Was that it then?
Yeah, and I think we'll probably close there. So let's go ahead and you look at your beliefs and instincts real quick, and hand out some fate. Avion.
Okay, if I don't handle it personally, it won't get done. Therefore, I'll stop everyone else from ruining this venture.
I think you work towards that just for the oratory role, right? Like you're making sure that no one else screws this up by inspiring them not to.
Okay. Even though my wife is crazy, I still love her. I'll prevent her from getting herself into trouble.
I mean, there
Didn't really...
there wasn't really any trouble to get her out of. Though, to be honest, this next thing that's gonna happen would be something to get her out of.
Yeah. Since everyone is lower than me, it's my responsibility to take care of the lesser, so I will take care of Podino. I gave him stuff.
You gave him knives, sure. Yep. Go ahead and take fate for that.
Rulership is my natural and ordained task. Therefore, I will make sure everything goes to plan. Oh yeah, I have 4 beliefs.
Man, this guy's arrogant.
Yeah, he
good.
really is. But he's the good arrogant though. Like he's not necessarily a jerk about it.
He's arrogant in the sense of I've been put it above everybody else, and I'm going to make everyone's lives better.
Yeah.
So I suppose that's a good arrogant as opposed to it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Actually, go ahead and take fate for that instead of the first belief, because I mean you didn't try to stop people from ruining the venture. You just made sure everything was going according to plan.
Okay. Instincts always solve my problems with money. No, always take the leadership position. That didn't get me into trouble. I am always superior to those around me. That also didn't get me into trouble.
You just have an instinct. That just says it.
Your instinct always solve problems with money.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, I don't think any of your traits got you into trouble either. So.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you got 2 fate. That's actually pretty good for playing an hour and a half. Podino, my man, Podino.
I was gonna read this real quick. This is a meme on Facebook by Lauren.
Okay.
Lauren Burkholz posted this. Trump, let's make America great again. Hillary, America is already great. Me, can someone get I-90 finished?
Well, actually, I-90 is interesting because it was originally constructed. Well, it was made by the people who own the tollway, particularly through Illinois. People who own the tollway don't. They're not part of the state, and the contract with the state says we'll build the tollway, and when we pay it off, we'll give it to the state. And and they started to get precariously close to paying it off. And so they started doing construction along it. And we're going to improve it. And then they built I believe it was 88. And no one drives on 88, but they can do work on 88 and they can do work on 90 and keep sinking the money that they're getting off the tolls. And so they'll never actually end up paying off the tollway.
That's really sad.
That's dookie.
And that was not one of Jostos' stories, by the way. I've heard that from several sources now. It's reliable.
Is that how you got that scar?
Huh?
Is that how you got that scar?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay. So beliefs and instincts?
Yeah.
Alright, I want to kill everyone on the ship. I will start by trying to poison on board.
Poison everyone on board. I don't know why. I mean, you tried.
I failed, but did it necessarily get me into trouble?
You made no. Again, beliefs are just something you have to work towards. So you made a roll to try to do that. You didn't go through with it, but you made a roll. So take fate for it.
Okay, I'll make sure that Trevor dies, even if nobody else does. I will start by learning his weak points.
You worked towards it. I mean, you started there. So take fate for it.
Words are more dangerous than knives. I'll make sure innocence is always on my side.
Take another fate for that.
Yeah.
That rhymes, kind of. That's cool. Instincts always go for the throat. Always be planning for the worst to happen. Always try to shift the blame to someone else.
Yeah, none of those came up, really.
Yeah. Traits, desperate, tasting the lash, sea legs, exotic, cold-hearted, iron stomach, honorable, aura of innocence, hardworking.
Yeah, I don't think, and none of those got you into trouble, so.
Yeah.
Cool. You got 3 fate though. Jostos. Jostos, my man.
Alrighty, beliefs and instincts. Beliefs. I want to make the best of my new situation, so I will try to make friends with the crew. I don't know how much I really did for the whole crew. I mean, I sort of tried with Podino a little bit, but mainly just because he approached me.
Yeah, and I think that's the
wanted to
thing.
help
You didn't
out.
actually work towards it. Someone else worked towards one of their beliefs. So
Yeah. My brother has made the best of what life has given him. I will try to do the same. I'll start by finding something new to be better at. I haven't really started on that one yet. My brother got me this job as cook, so I'll be the best flaming cook that I can be. Well,
let me take faith for that.
he
You
got
tried.
me. I tried.
You tried
Yeah.
anyway.
Instincts. Always look for the best in a situation. Always have a good story. If there's drinking to be done, I'll be part of it.
Yeah, I don't think any of those got you into trouble. Not yet, anyway.
Nope. And looking at my traits, doesn't look like, well, unlucky. I mean,
Yeah,
we
go
had a guy
ahead.
trying a rat.
Go
we had a guy
ahead and
trying
take.
a rat poison, and
go ahead and take fate for that because I mean, of course, it's you have the guy who's helping you make the stew is gonna poison everyone. Like,
Mhm. All right, cool.
awesome.
So once again, I don't have a very fate productive character yet, but I'll figure out a way to make it work.
Well, that was awesome. I'm really looking forward to seeing what this is gonna do. I think because the thing is we have really good characters that are bouncing off of each other in really interesting ways, and we have a way to always be moving forward the narrative because we have a goal, and it's Podino's trying to kill everybody. Everybody else is trying not to be dead, you know. So, and then we have your personal goals, all that stuff. So, it'll be cool. I'm excited. All right. Well, this guy's tired, so we'll go ahead and end here. Thank you all for watching. Thank you guys for playing. It's been great. Yeah, this has been the first episode of Year of Raging Winds, so we'll see what happens next time. Same bat time, same bat channel.
I wouldn't say the channel's bad. I mean, Twitch isn't great, but it works.
Bat time, bat channel. It's a reference to the old Batman show. They always used to say at the end, come back next week, same bat time, same bat channel. Yep.
I lack context for that comment.
Because that's the 60s for you.
It's true.
All right. Adios, have a good night. We're out.
See ya.